Steve, you forgot to remind me. Today is Friday, the 24th day of Tevis. Today is the Alter Rebbe's yard site, the Baal Tanya, the Baal Shulchan Aruch. It's Neshama Sherev and Aliyah. And so we learn in Chassidus, when you learn the teachings of the great sage, you bring them closer to you and you become closer to them. So we're going to learn the Tanya. It's from the shorter days. Today's great. So today we learned that the Beinani, some Beinanim, just, they have it easy. The Yetzer Hara is not constantly battling them. But nevertheless, today's called going the extra mile. And at the same time, you might think, what's the big deal? So I stay a little bit longer, I daven a little bit longer, I get here a little bit earlier. I can get here early today. Explain to you after. Or whatever the case may be, you learn, we're going to learn about the accepted norm for many generations was chazering over what you learned. Chazer means to review 100 times. So whoever would do it 101 times, that was like beyond norm, beyond expectations, beyond nature. We're talking about one who serves Hashem and one who does not serve Hashem. How could a Beinani be considered somebody who doesn't serve Hashem? It means that he practiced and he repeated over and over and over his daily, routine, and it comes easy to him. Some people get up in the morning and go for an ice plunge. Would you ever think of doing that? Really? Some people do an ice plunge every single day. And I can't imagine doing it, but for the people that do it every single day, it's natural, it's normal. In the beginning, it was hard for the first few days, weeks, months. But once you start doing something, or an ice cold shower in the morning, could you even imagine, Steve? No. Some people like to do things like that. Wait, didn't you? Oh, they have a sauna at the gym, right? They do have an ice plunge, but you don't use it. Some people try and they can't do it. But if you did it every single day, in 5 years from now, you'd be like, no big deal. So, however, the same thing is coming to minyan every day. Not all of us are used to going to minyan every day or davening or learning every single day. People that grew up not going to minyan, not davening, not putting on tefillin every day, right, Chaim? But now you can't imagine missing it. So you don't have that struggle. So you have that Beinani, what's the word, Steve, I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for. It's like you have that Beinani inside of you. That part of your life is automatic. So that part you don't struggle with. There are other people that we obviously, we could think of a few people. I'm saying you shouldn't think of those people, but I'm saying ourselves, for example, that there's certain areas where we struggle mightily with that other people don't. Okay. So we're talking about one who serves God. This is somebody who doesn't come easy to, and everything he does is a struggle. Okay, so now he brings in a new example. Somebody who serves Hashem refers to one who reviews his study 101 times. If he comes every single day to shul, he's going to come extra early or leave extra late or do an extra kapitel tehillim. This is not something that he's comfortable doing or that he usually does. So this is somebody, a person who just does the regular routine that he's comfortable with every single day is not someone who's serving Hashem actively. That's what the Rebbe is saying. It's very interesting. That doesn't mean he's a bad person. He's doing everything right, but he's just not going above and beyond. He's not going the extra mile. In the times of the Gemara, they would review the lesson 100 times. Every single person reviewed it 100 times. So if somebody would do 101 times, it was like, what are you doing 101 times? That's crazy. Like, I'm pushing myself extra. It's like coming to shul. If you come here a regular day at 10 to 8, there's nobody here. You decide, from now on, I'm coming 7:45, and I'm going to prepare myself by learning a little bit, davening a little bit extra, preparing myself with all the kabbalah so that by the time anyone else gets here, I'm ready and feeling ready to go. And that's a big change in your nature. V'niskarim le'eser parse bezuzel acharasa parse bisrei zuze mipnei shehu yoser mergiluson. The Talmud illustrates this by way of an analogy. You have a market of donkey drivers. Think when you pull up to the airport, you have all the taxis lined up, right? So the drivers would charge 1 zuz for 10 parsa, which is a Persian mile, but they would demand 2 zuzim for driving 11. The driving 11th mile exceeded their normal practice. Right. So if they are accustomed to going from Brooklyn to the airport, Brooklyn to the airport, back and forth and back and forth, now you tell them, you know what? I want to go to Newark Airport. They're like, Newark Airport? Oh, that's going to cost you double. Why? It's only a certain amount. Just put it on the meter. No. This, I'm not used to doing this. I can go to JFK. I can go to LaGuardia. You want me to go to Newark? Forget about the tolls. It's just out of my comfort zone. So therefore, so therefore, this 101st revision is the fact that you learned an extra time. You came an extra 10 minutes early. You said an extra kapitel tilim. That's like above and beyond. This is somebody who's called he who serves Hashem. Whatever comes to you naturally, good. You're doing the right thing. But when you go above and beyond, when you're ready to spend extra money on the esrog, I don't know, I'm looking at you thinking of that. Maybe it's your yellow shirt. When you're ready to go a little bit out of your comfort zone, that's serving Hashem. Everything else is just coming at you. Of course, you're doing what you're supposed to do. What are you doing? You're mastering, you're taking full control of your nefesh habahamis. Shemenu ateva, the nature comes from that part of your heart. And again, the nature is you show up at a certain time, you come 8 o'clock, you daven with tefillin, you run out the door. And this is the Beinoni overcoming his animal soul through a love of Hashem generated by meditation. This is a perfect service of Beinoni. Above and beyond, going the extra mile. Or during the davening, when you daven regular, but this time, you really, sometimes when you daven, you feel like you're working on it, like to the point where I don't know if you're exhausted, but you feel it coming out of you. Other times you just daven, you're like, I missed out an opportunity. You said the words, you did everything right, but you didn't work on it. You didn't struggle. When you work, first of all, when you go the extra mile, even in action is one thing. But when you do it with meditation and concentration and contemplation and extra energy, that's also avodas Hashem. Maybe it's not time, but it's quality. If a person doesn't wage this war, and just, he wakes up, he puts on tefillin, he says the brachas, he doesn't look at the wrong things, he does the right things. This is not called service. He's not called one who serves Hashem. It's called someone who fulfills his basic obligations. Still a Beinoni, but in order to be called someone who's constantly in the service, it's like he's called a Beinoni retroactively, like he became a Beinoni, like he reached that plateau of incorporating doing all the right things, not deviating in his mind from anything but serving Hashem. Great. But going extra mile, that means present service of Hashem. That means in present tense. So takeaway for today's chavra, you can break your nature. Your nature is do everything good. Wake up, daven, learn, be kind to others, hold the door open. Don't forget to call your friend and wish him well and wish shlema. Do all the things that you're supposed to do. Show up Shabbos, daven with the minyan, eat the cholent, do everything that you're supposed to do. Don't forget the spicy cholent. Sorry, Jeff. But sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, we should do more than we feel like doing. At those moments, it's not about you. It's about what your service to Hashem is, what your calling is, going the extra mile, digging down deep. They were talking about, like taking a sports analogy, who's the best three-point shooter out there? Curry, right? So the guy was saying, it's not that he's the best, it's the 500 shots he takes a day that nobody sees. It's all the effort and the practice and everything else that he puts in. So if we want to be considered an Oved Hashem, what? Why? Because he doesn't need to. He already got to that point. But the point that we're trying to make is a regular basketball player, football player, golfer, whatever. They get up, they do their thing. They're going to be average, maybe even above average, because they're given a skill and talent from Hashem. But if you want to go above and beyond and be the greatest of all time, then you have to put in the extra effort. So too in Yiddishkeit, if you're going to put in the extra effort, then you're going to be not just a regular Beinoni, but one who is currently and actively serving Hashem with every ounce of his being, going above and beyond. And that's why today is called going the extra mile. Everyone have a good Shabbos, a good day, and thank you for joining.